Michael Dukakis was cool. That's right. Michael Dukakis. Remember Michael Dukakis, the guy that ran for president back in 1988? He was cool. He really was. Michael Dukakis. He was known for the Massachusetts Miracle. He was the Miracle Man, Michael Dukakis. A man who should have been president, but unfortunately never was. Michael Dukakis. And see, somebody got me this old Dukakis for President 88 pin at like an antique sale or something. Somebody found this. And this brings back many bittersweet memories of the Michael Dukakis campaign in 1988, which he would have won, except for the media. Oh man, if you think the media hates Obama, oh man, it's nothing. I mean, it's nothing compared to the way they treated Dukakis. Oh, they really hated the right-wing media really hated Dukakis. And remember the debates? Remember the debates with George H.W. Bush? How arrogant Bush was during the debates, and how during the debates, Bush kept saying, now you owe me an apology. My opponent owes me an apology. Remember when Bush kept saying that during one of the debates? And I remember watching the debates in 1988, and every time Dukakis would open his mouth to answer a question from the moderators or the panelists, the people in the audience, Bush stacked the audience with his fans. Remember that, how Bush stacked the audience with his followers at like the studio audience, the audience in the auditorium at the debates. And every time Dukakis would open his mouth to answer a question, Bush's supporters in the audience would start going and start laughing. Remember that? How they would do that? Dukakis would start answering a question, then Bush's people in the audience would go remember that? But in person, it was a different story, because in person, like, this was back in the Brossard years. This is back when I went to Brossard. Like, if they found out I supported Dukakis, this is like back when I was in high school, they would start going or they would get real mad because I supported Dukakis back in 1988. And somehow, though, he won the mock election for my sophomore class, but he lost the other classes. But he won like the mock election for my sophomore class, like by 19-2 or something like that. But but he lost the other classes by a big margin, though. So I don't know why he won the sophomore class by such a big amount. But anyway, that was Dukakis, and how I remember the debate. There was the vice presidential debate too. It was Lloyd Bentsen and Dan Quayle. The one where Lloyd Bentsen said, "Senator or no Jack Kennedy." Remember that? And I remember how while we were watching that debate, I was at home watching the debate, and somebody kept we were watching the debate, and somebody kept ripping SBD bunker blasts while we were watching the debate, and the dog kept getting blamed. And then finally somebody ripped an LAP bunker blast, and the dog still kept getting blamed. That was funny. But this is Dukakis for president. And earlier I saw an iMart Express commercial that used the Sesame Street font. But anyway, Dukakis was he was so cool. But oh man, I don't know what's going on out there. Somebody's making a whole bunch of noise out there. bunch of people walking up the alley. There's one guy walking up the alley who looks like he looks almost like the Duck Dynasty guy. There's a man and a woman walking up the alley, but anyway, so anyway, Dukakis, Michael Dukakis, he was the miracle man. He was the man behind the Massachusetts Miracle. Now, so that was my computer's not working here, but so that was the Massachusetts Miracle, and that was back in the days when everybody said they were going to move to Massachusetts. That's right, they did. Everybody wanted to move to Massachusetts back around that time because that was when the Massachusetts economy was doing a lot better than the national economy back then, because the national economy was in payments, but the Massachusetts economy was doing really well. So, and what were some other funny things, some other interesting things about Dukakis? Yeah, there was I remember one time we went up through Columbus. We went on a trip somewhere up through Columbus, and somebody had spray painted Dukakis on an overpass. They did. Somebody had spray painted Dukakis on an overpass. And around here, somebody spray painted "Hemp is oil." There's this wall along I-471. Somebody had spray painted "Hemp is oil." I think it's like between like Bellevue and Newport, where I-471 goes under that rail trestle. They spray paint "Hemp is oil." And there's one time somebody, I think it was in Detroit, somebody spray painted Phil Collins on a wall. I noticed that. Somebody spray painted a guy's face, and he looked like Phil Collins. And somebody under it they had spray painted Phil Collins because the guy looked like Phil Collins. And that was in Detroit where I saw that. But this was years ago, and I wish I had a picture of it. But I think that was probably even before the days of I might have been like in the days of the action cam when I barely knew how to use it, and I was trying to conserve energy on it. So I don't have a picture of it. But so that's the story of Michael Dukakis, the Miracle Man.